1 minute.
That's what they need.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the April 15th agenda meeting, South Plainfield Mayor and Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilman Bash?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
Council President Willock?
Here. Thank you. Can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this evening there are no matters on for closed session. We have the approval of the April 1st council minutes. We have a proclamation pertaining to Volunteer Litter Cleanup Week. There are 4 ordinances on for a second reading by title, 4 ordinances on for a first reading by title. We have 3 budget resolutions this evening. There are 11 resolutions. However, we will need to remove resolution number 19-148. That will be removed till further notice. And we will be adding resolution, it will be numbered 19-159. It will be titled, Accepting the Donation of a BMY 1991 Green M92 Hummer from the Township of Rivervale. We then move on to one matter of correspondence, payment of bills totaling $607,774.88. Council reports, and we conclude with public comments. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Council comments on agenda items?
No, Mayor. Nothing, Mayor.
Can I get a motion to add resolution 19-159 and also to table 19-148?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? At this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, close the public portion. Can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting?
So second.
We are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll once more?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilman Bash?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
Council President Willock?
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilwoman Faustini. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, during this time that is traditionally a time of reflection and peace and renewal, for so many communities, we ask that you watch over us and bring peace, blessings, and happiness to each of us and our families. Amen.
At this point, we'll open it up once again for public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, close the public portion. Can I get the motion? Can I get a motion to approve the council minutes of April 1st, agenda, public, and executive?
So second,
Second.
Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Willock?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
We have one proclamation for Litter Cleanup Week 2019, whereas each year South Plainfield celebrates Earth Day and Arbor Day, and whereas we are fortunate to live in a state so bountifully endowed with natural assets, and we feel a natural continuing responsibility for preserving and improving the environment by keeping it clean, healthy, and beautiful. And whereas residents can take an active role in keeping our streets, parks, neighborhoods, and community clean and beautiful by participation as a cleanup volunteer on Saturday, May 4th, 2019, beginning at 9 a.m. at the South Plainfield Municipal Building. And whereas Volunteer Litter Cleanup Week is a week in which we make special effort to support and enhance our natural environment, and to demonstrate our commitment to this responsibility. To keep our community clean, which is hereby so designated for the week of May 4th through May 11th, 2019. Now therefore, I, Matthew Pianesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do proclaim the week of May 4th through May 11th, 2019 as Volunteer Litter Cleanup Week in the borough, and challenge all organizations and individual segments of our community to participate in this noble effort by developing and carrying out an imaginative cleanup, paint up, and fix up projects which will serve to enhance, restore, or maintain the beauty of all neighborhoods in our community, and by joining the Volunteer Litter Cleanup Day on Saturday, May 4th, 2019. For final adoption, ordinance 2130.
An ordinance amending Chapter 216, Article 3, Section 216-7 of the Code of the Borough of South Plainfield titled Miscellaneous Fees.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2130?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Council President Wolak, seconded by Councilman White. As this is for final adoption, I'll open it up for public comments on the adoption of ordinance 2130. Seeing none, close the public portion. Council comments on the adoption of ordinance 2130. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolak?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for final adoption, ordinance 2131.
An ordinance amending Chapter 187, Article 2 that pertains to handicap parking.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2131?
Motion?
Second. Mayor.
Motion by Councilwoman Faustini, seconded by Council President Wolak. And as this is for final adoption, open it up for public comments on ordinance 2131. Seeing none, close the public portion. Council comments on ordinance 2131.
No, Mayor.
Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolak?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for final adoption, ordinance 2132.
Bond ordinance providing for preliminary planning, engineering, and design for the renovations at the South Plainfield Community Pool in and by the Borough of South Plainfield in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $175,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $166,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2132?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Faustini, seconded by Councilman Dean. As this is for final adoption, I'll open it up for public comments regarding 2132. Seeing none, close the public portion. Council comments on the adoption of ordinance 2132. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolak?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for final adoption, ordinance 2133.
An ordinance amending Chapter 187 titled Vehicles and Traffic.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2133?
So motion. Second, Mayor.
Motion by Council President White. Wallach. Seconded by Councilman White. As this is for final adoption, open it up for public comments regarding ordinance 2133. Seeing none, close the public portion. Council comments regarding ordinance 2133. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolak?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you for introduction, ordinance 2134.
And ordinance to exceed the municipal budget cost of living allowance and to establish a cap bank when the COLA is equal to or less than 2% to NJSA 40A:4-45.14.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2134?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Council President Wallach. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for introduction, ordinance 2135.
An ordinance amending ordinance 2129 that provides for the compensation of employees of the Borough of South Plainfield and the method of payment of such compensation for the years 2019 through 2023 for non-union professionals and governing body to now include the Executive Director of the Office on Aging.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2135?
So moved.
Second, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
yes,
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for introduction, ordinance 2136.
An ordinance that provides for the compensation of employees of the Borough of South Plainfield and the method of payment of such compensation for the years 2019 through 2023 for DPW Teamsters Local Union Number 469.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2136?
Motion.
Second, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman Dean. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
yes,
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for introduction, ordinance 2137.
An ordinance that provides for the compensation of employees of the Borough of South Plainfield and the method of payment of such compensation for the years 2019 through 2023 for part-time employees.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2137?
Motion.
Second, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Council President Wolak. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
yes,
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Mr. Cullen, before we do the budget resolutions, you want to say anything? You want to have any?
Well, you know what, I guess the first thing we should do is, what do you do in 19147A, which just allows Amy to read it by title?
Okay.
Right,
Can I
so
get a
You want
mo-
to do that one first?
Yeah,
and
I'd rather we read the budget by title instead.
Yes. Sure,
instead
sure
of
everybody
some
else here
50
would.
pages.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We'll take a straw poll? No. Can I get a motion for resolution 19-147A?
So moved.
second,
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
yes,
Councilman Vesh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
Okay, so before you, what we're doing here tonight, we'll be introducing the 2019 municipal budget. This is just the introduction. We're scheduled to have a bunch of department hearings. We're actually looking to do them kind of early, April 30th and May 1st. We won't be, okay, April 30th and May 1st. They're actually, we will not have the official public hearing until May 20th. So I think everyone's going to have plenty of time and opportunity to look at the municipal budget. To just give a couple highlights real quick here, 2019 budget is $30,965,000. Of that, $20,204,000 represents the municipal portion of the property tax plus the library, which is essentially an increase of $59.75 per the average home assessed at $123,000. The library portion, I think, is up $5. So if it's $59.75, you're looking at roughly $54 on the municipal rate. It's the first municipal rate increase in 3 years. The borough's rateable base is up approximately $13 million. Since over the last 3 years, I believe we're up close to $32 million in our rateable base. Salary and wages are up 2.2%. And really, the driver for that is obviously, I think everybody knows, last year, both the borough and the school board, which I think is a resolution on later on here tonight, came together on hiring more school resource officers. So that's really the driver in the salary portion of the budget, but even with that, it's at 2%. And the other two drivers happen to be, we have an increase in our principal payment schedule of about $350,000. And health insurance as well as a community pool. I guess the last thing that I'll mention is, I think over the last 10 years, if you were to compound what the rate of interest would be or increase would be, it's less than 1/3 of 1% in the last 10 years. And I don't think anybody expects us to go up from here. I think we think it's going to go down. Obviously, no one is thrilled with any type of increase, but that's where we currently stand at introduction.
All right, just to kind of reiterate what Glenn was talking about, obviously this is the introduction. I ask each of every one of you to go back to your department heads, look at the budget, send recommendations to me for the public hearing, or before the public hearing actually, for anything that you would like to recommend in the budget. My phone's always open, my email's open, so I encourage you to do that. One of the things that, as Mr. Collins said, is the school resource officers, the drivers, school resource officers are the drivers of the increase in the salaries for public safety, and funding increases with the pool and stuff like that contribute towards most of this. So it's a work in progress, and I look forward to working with everybody on it for the final.
Any other council comments, questions?
What is our surplus for this coming budget?
Would you say surplus that we're
That we're-
utilizing?
Yeah, that we're carrying into and.
Okay, so we're utilizing just about 2.1 million. So if you turn to page 4, you'll see we're utilizing just under 2.1 million, $2,097,000, which is actually slightly down from a year ago. A year ago, we used 2,185,000. So we're using about 90,000 less in this year's budget in surplus, and part of that is we did start the year with a slightly less of a surplus as well. So we continually regenerate the surplus. Essentially we use it to offset taxes. We use it as a means to, it's kind of a rolling balance.
And
Yeah.
Glenn, in your tenure at the borough as chief financial officer, is that any different than day one?
Oh, no. I mean, we've always done that. I mean, a year ago, we had 2.4, we used, almost 2.2. So, I mean, it's
It's a rolling
how
out.
it's always been a rolling budget.
One of the positive things about this is we are now not relying on any one-time revenues, so, we're really looking at investments here as far as the police and the principal payments and the pool, which are the driving factors. And obviously, we're making the necessary pension payments that the state requires us to, which is an increase as well of over 100,000. So those things are the things that we're looking into. Some of the positive things that we're looking on the health insurance end is that a lot of our negotiations, which we're doing with the contracts, is we're getting a lot of givebacks in the health insurance as far as co-pays and premiums and stuff like that. So hopefully over the next couple of years, we'll start to see some of that kick in, which will help alleviate, because health insurance is a main driver of any budget in New Jersey. It consistently goes up, whether it's private or public sector, but any which way we could control that within our contracts and stuff like that we're doing. And I want to thank all the employees for working with us on that. So,
Well, I mean, one thing I will mention is I know a few meetings back, I think it was approved that there would be an auction of property. None of that currently is in this municipal budget. So so if anybody has any concerns or questions on, is there some type of land sale money or property sale that's been added to the revenue in order to offset taxes, it is not in this budget at introduction.
Where did we fall with that auction that we had for the property on Kenneth Ave? Is that stalemate now, or?
I don't think it's a stalemate. I think Paul had all the communication with the adjacent owners, and, I'll have to talk to Paul tomorrow, and I'll try to get you an answer.
Okay.
Glenn,
Yes.
if this budget was to go the way it is right now,
Mhm.
what would be the increase?
$59.75 per home, per average
And
home.
what would be for our yearly? What would our budget go up for the year?
Our budget for the year is up hang on one second. We're approximately 1.1 million for the year. That, not taxes.
No, I
That-
understand.
That's actually That's the budget itself. So the budget itself is up,
It's going up 1.1.
yeah, 1.1 million.
Yeah, and of that, 350,000 is principal payments, health insurance, 334. The SRO's 260,000, and the pool, close to 200,000.
Yeah,
That's how that
well, like I said, well, I didn't say, but I had just gotten this, so I didn't get a real good chance to look at it yet, but.
Well, that's what the introduction's for, obviously, read through it. We got the public hearing and then the final adoption. So, any questions, concerns, or anything about the
Great.
budget, feel free to give me a
Yep,
call.
not a problem, thank you.
It doesn't, I shouldn't say it doesn't happen often. I don't know if that actually rings well. But just at a point of interest, if you look at sheet 11, you'll look at what we anticipated in revenue in 2019. And just take a look at what we realized 2018. You see a lot of you're gonna see a lot of similarities, both in total budget, both in taxes, but, so I figured I'd point that out there.
What's the driving factor in the change?
Well, I just
Is that what you're,
Yeah,
okay,
you said.
all right,
3
Yeah.
items.
yep, okay.
And remember, we have the pool in there, so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay, can I get a,
Thank you.
do you have anything else, Mr. Collins?
No, Mayor, I mean, we'll have our, we'll have our budget hearing on May 20th, and then, if the adjustments warrant, we may have to have a second public hearing and adoption, which would be at the first meeting in May, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, though, we're able to do it on the May 20th meeting, but we'll see.
Okay. Yep, the public hearing for the adoption of the budget will be May 20th, and I should say also for those prior ordinances, 2134 through 37, the public hearing for those will be on May 6th, approximately 7 p.m.
I can't remember if I said it, Mayor, but we're actually $1.5 million below the allowable tax increase in the levy cap. So I just,
You mentioned it to me earlier, I don't
Okay.
know about publicly here.
so,
But yes.
okay.
Okay, can I get a motion for Resolution 19-147B, authorizing the introduction of the 2019 municipal budget?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Not at this time.
Okay. Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Not at this time.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 4-0. Oh, sorry, 4-2.
Thank you. And can I get a motion for Resolution 19-147?
Just clarification, not at this time means abstain?
Is that an abstain or a no?
Or a no vote.
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
So passes 4-2.
Can I get a motion for Resolution 19-147C, authorizing and conducting a self-examination of the 2019 municipal budget?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Council President Wolak, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
And Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Any need to separate any of the resolutions tonight?
Nothing
No?
for me.
Can I get a motion for Resolutions 19-149 to 19-159 added this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Council President Wolak. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Okay, we have one item of correspondence on for tonight, Environmental Commission minutes for February 13th. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman Dean. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Wolf?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. For payment of the bills for $607,774.88. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Council President Wolak, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Willock?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Mr. Cullen, anything for us tonight?
Yes, Mayor, I'll just mention a couple items real quick. 19154, I was thrilled to see that we've been able to, once again, renew that interlocal agreement with the school board. Also, just wanted to mention earlier today that Mr. Miller, the chief, some members of the PD and Public Works, we took the ride up to Rivervale, New Jersey. The administrator there and myself have a very good working relationship. That was the Hummer that was added today. We actually do believe that we're going to be getting 2 more pieces of surplus military equipment, one of which is Len, how would you describe it? It's like a transport vehicle, right? Army?
Yeah, it's a huge Army truck that can drive through floods if we need.
To drive through floods,
It's
but
listed as
really,
a Hummer in the,
what we're
Yeah,
really
I
hoping
think he's
is
talking about the
is
additional
that piece of
Miller.
equipment would actually replace our rack body truck. We'd be able to use it for barricades and things of that nature, so.
I have one. They're fun to drive.
Yeah, they're fun to drive. So, hopefully, the more that it's fun, we get some practical use out of it, but, Rivervale on Monday evening is gonna pass a resolution, at least tentatively, donating all 3 of these pieces of equipment to, the borough. They all ran well, they drove it down the parkway today, the Hummer, and, I just wanna thank the Township of Rivervale, and, hopefully, like I said, we're gonna get some use out of these. The one piece of equipment we actually think would be possibly be very beneficial, during emergencies, and, I'll leave it for there right now until I actually announce what it is, but, I think everybody felt that, the equipment was actually in very good shape, so, with that progress, Mayor.
Excellent. Mickey, I know you're just visiting tonight, but did you have anything for us?
I have nothing further, Mayor.
Progress it is. Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. As an update on the road projects, they started the work last week on Hadley Road Phase 2. They'll be working out there for a while, and as soon as the weather breaks, we should be ready to pave. South 9th Street, the schedule on that tentatively right now is to advertise the middle of May, open bids the end of May, and award the contract at the first meeting of June. So that work can be done after school's out. So I think that will be the best way to get that moving forward. The compactor is open this Saturday, if anyone's interested in that. And the last thing is St. Nicholas. We got over $500,000 grant from the DOT for St. Nicholas Ave. And tonight we've awarded a contract to do some asphalt cores out there, and we'll start the design on that project with that progress.
Thank you. Ms. Antonides?
Just a quick reminder that your financial disclosures are due on or before April 30th. So if you have not yet filed, please don't forget to do so.
Sorry.
The state will fine you if you
Thank
do
you.
not.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Mine's
And
done.
that's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Vess?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just have one thing. There was a resident that reached out to me. He was just wondering, his name is Vinny, I don't know, Sinical or?
Siniscal.
That it?
Siniscal.
Siniscal, okay. He was just inquiring what the possibility of resurfacing Woodland Avenue from Maple to Sprague, which is still South Plainfield, on one side.
Right. Yeah, I know Councilman Benjavang and I were working with Edison. Yeah.
I reached out to him and told him that it was kind of, Edison was holding it up a little bit.
Well, the biggest challenge is the drainage on the Edison, before you do anything
Yep.
with the road, the drainage on the Edison side is so bad that it floods over to our side and deteriorates the road. So
Correct.
You really don't want, like you would know, you don't want to
You don't want to pave half of it.
pave it.
Well, we don't
You
wanna pave half of it,
You don't
that's
want
for
to
sure.
pave the whole thing without resolving.
Without resolving the drainage.
Yeah.
Understood.
So,
He was just wondering how far along those discussions are.
From what I've heard from Edison,
Yeah.
it's not in their,
As you can imagine.
not
so-
in their budget right now.
Well, so the only thing on the Edison side is the golf course, right? So it's not really standing out. Talking to the freeholders, I think it was last year, or whatever, they will entertain switching, that road, for other road, but then Edison would have to give out a certain amount of road, and we would have to have a certain amount of road to equally swap county roads. So it's probably a little bit more complex than we want to look at. But yeah, but it's, something that we're into. But yeah, we're not giving up with Edison, but
Yeah. I
you know.
reached out to them a few times over the winter when we had those
Yeah.
severe craters, more on their side than on ours. And a couple of the councilmen that I did speak to, they were, about getting it redone and trying to move forward with it. And they were like, they have bigger
Yeah.
areas that need to be done, and this just wasn't really one of their top priorities, but they were out there right away to fix it.
So on our end, in the meantime, we'll patch it, and then we'll look to see, if worse comes to worse, we'll just pave half, and we'll say that Edison doesn't want to do it.
It's,
and all else fails.
unfortunately,
yeah.
that's, yeah.
really a waste.
When all else fails, with
I know it's a
shame will
waste,
work.
but what are you gonna,
Yeah, you hate
We
to
gotta
do
fix
that.
our side.
You-
We gotta
you
worry
hate-
about us.
It really is a waste.
Yeah, you hate to do that because it's going to look foolish, right? But
One of the issues too also is West 9, a couple of those little ponds.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
the drainage.
That's the problem, yeah.
Have, the silt has filled them in now, so now the water's just running right out the wood.
yeah. Well, I think yeah.
Okay, and with that progress.
Exactly. Thank you,
Thanks, Ken.
Progress.
Councilwoman Faustini.
Well, I think I have some exciting and happy news for tonight. I believe I spoke last time that South Plainfield's Anthony Ashnault won the NCAA championship, and he has had just an incredible career throughout his high school and his college career. So I spoke with the Police Athletic League Committee and also the Recreation Commission at our last meeting, and and with his family, of course, of what would be an appropriate way and what they would like to do to honor Anthony Ashnault. I know Councilman Dean had asked about it, and several members of the public. So what we kind of all agreed upon was to name the wrestling room that is currently called at the PAL the Anthony Ashnault Wrestling Center to to make his name kind of serve as an inspiration for all our young wrestlers and, all people of all sports to show what can be accomplished when you really dedicate and set your mind to something. I believe his family's traveling the next 2 weeks, but I'm working with Officer Colucci, and we'll come up with some type of ceremony and a plaque and, nameplate, and, so details will follow. And with that, happy, holidays, Passover, Easter, and, just spring to everybody. And with that, progress.
Thank you, Councilman Benjavenga.
Progress, man.
Thank you, Councilman Dean.
Yes, Mayor, I just want to say thank you for tonight's proclamation for the spring cleanup. And again, a reminder that it'll be May 4th, and at 9 a.m. we'll be meeting at Borough Headquarters. And if you don't have a designated area, Alice and myself and a few other people will be here as well to give you out any information where we could use you for cleaning up some of the borough right-of-ways. With that, progress.
Thank you. Councilman White.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to congratulate Giovanni and his family on the transfer liquor license. I believe that's the last piece that you need before you can start your renovation and open Flanagan's under a new name. I think you said it was going to be Angelina's after your daughter. So welcome to town. I'm glad everything went smoothly, and whatever we can do to assist you along the way, please don't hesitate to ask, and welcome to the business community and the community of South Plainfield.
Congratulations.
With that, progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Council President Wolak.
I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter, happy holidays, and with that, progress.
Thank you. At this point, we'll open it up to the public for anything on your mind. Ms. Lepore.
Suzanne Lepore, Bullard Place. On behalf of the Cultural Arts Commission, I was not here at the last meeting. I was traveling. But I just wanted to thank everyone who participated and attended our talent showcase this year. We had a great performance by everyone who was in it, and just makes us look forward to next year's show as well. We do have a new event coming up soon, on June 15th. We're going to host our very first Bark in the Park at the dog park, where people can come with their pets and have them dressed up in costumes for a little parade of pets, and we will be giving out awards which were donated to us by the Animal House groomers in the center of town. So we'll have awards for a few different categories. So I hope that everyone can attend. I'm not sure of the time.
I think it was 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock maybe?
I think it's 1.
So I have a flyer I'm going to start posting on social media. So, but just, share the event with any dog owners that you know of that would be interested in attending.
Does the dog have to actually walk in the parade?
Yeah.
No, you can carry the
I
dog.
can carry my dog. I
Well,
don't know
there
about-
is a very interesting category, I thought, which, I loved. It was the best pet owner and pet combo costume.
right.
So you can come up with some creative way to work your
Yeah,
pet
I'm
and
not that
yourself
creative.
You should wear a dress.
into the parade.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
But yeah, so that's a new event for us this year, and we're looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
It's a great idea. I know Somerset Patriots, they do that at the baseball park.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they have the Bark in the Park, and they walk around the interior of the stadium and everything, so it's a big turnout.
Is
so.
that what they call it, actually, Bark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah.
They
that.
do it every year.
Yeah. So, but this is, our version. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Excellent.
Ms. Boyle?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 3 to 4.
Yes.
Okay.
At the dog-
Yep,
what's the date
at the
again?
dog park on June 15th.
Debbie Boyle, Van Fleet. On April 7th was our Mayor's Wellness Autism event, Autism Awareness event. Thank you to Mayor Nash for reading to the children and to our team who came out, Scott Carey, Ellie Gibson, for all the donations of fruit from Green Olive, Stephanie Barfalvi, Danielle Staunton, who read her own book that she wrote, Jessica Spina. Danielle and Jessica did the crafts. Thank you to David Jaiprasad, who came as Director of Children's Hospital from St. Peter's, and Dr. Marola, who is also the head of child development. Thank you to all the parents who brought their children out. They all had a great time, and we had a lot of space for them to go around on the bouncing balls. So again, thank you to everybody who came out for that.
Yes.
April 28th is the Suburban Women's Fashion Show. Also, Councilman Dean came to that. April 29th is the Taste of South Plainfield from 6 to 9, and now we're hoping that Angelina's will be a part of our event. It's
The when's the fashion show? I'm sorry, I missed the date.
28th.
Oh, April 29th. The fashion show, the 28th. Suburban Women's Club, it's 2 to 5. The 29th is the Taste. And like I said, we're hoping that Angelina's will be able to join us along with some other newer restaurants. May 4th is the high school Tricky Tray. I believe we start at 6, the doors open. And May 9th is the Junior Journalist Dinner. And I know a lot of mayor and council people try to come to that.
What was it, June 9th?
May
May
9th.
Oh.
May 9th. It's a Thursday.
That's 6:30?
I'm not sure.
6 o'clock?
Summer's almost over.
It just started.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Back to winter.
Seeing none, close the public portion. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Have a good evening, everyone.